Hey, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about how to not relinquish your power in the present moment. Over the past few videos, we've talked about reclaiming your power, both from past experiences and from the current experiences. But how is it that you relinquish your power? And how do you stop doing that? And it's super important to stop relinquishing your power, right? Because we are living in a reality right now that is not the reality of our choosing. It doesn't appear to be the reality of your choosing. It's not the reality you would choose consciously. In fact, I imagine you've had countless conversations about the reality you would choose and how you think things, you feel things should work in the world. So what I want to share with you now is how to not relinquish your power in the current moment. And that is when things are occurring, when you are reading the news, which I don't recommend you do, but when you are faced with information that triggers your emotions, right? When your emotions become triggered, when you have a reaction to something or somebody, you have relinquished your power. You have relinquished your power in that moment. So, and you can quickly reclaim it, right? So as I've talked in previous videos, you can go back to old experiences when you're a child, where that timeline is still current time. And you as that child are still in that space of relinquishing your power, right? So you're in that space of powerlessness. And you can call back your power from that experience, going back into that past timeline. So today what I'm talking about is in this current timeline, we are constantly having experiences, constantly, looking at our circumstances in the world around us, and we are making a judgment, thinking a thought, that is good, that is bad, and then our emotions follow. Oh, that's bad. We can look at Roe v. Wade currently being overturned and how much emotions that has triggered, right? So when you see an experience, when that experience occurs and you're in that space of emotion, you can go, oh, I feel emotional about this. I feel angry. I feel sad. I feel scared, right? Those emotions, you can go, oh, that narrative just hijacked, I allowed that narrative to hijack my emotions. Before I was aware of that, I was peaceful, I was calm, I was excited, I was joyful, whatever it was. And then when you see, an experience or get the news and your emotions are shifted, that is where you have relinquished your power. So instead of doing that, or when you are conscious, when you go, oh, wait a minute, that thing just elicited less than desirable emotions, right? So what I recommend you do, what I take my clients through doing, is recognizing, okay, what did I make that mean? Using the Roe v. Wade, for instance, people made that mean that we set women's rights back many, many years, right? Decades. They made it mean that now women are going to die in illegal abortions. Many made that mean so many things, right? So many things. So notice what you made that mean. And then go back and watch my Roe v. Wade Higher Perspectives video, because I brought you to higher perspectives about that, right? Number one, we can never go backwards in time. Women are different now, right? So it's reframing it and bringing yourself to a to a neutral experience, so that you're not triggered in fear and pain, but getting neutral about it. And here's what neutrality is. And I recently learned this in a sacred medicine ceremony, is that, and I've heard people talk, well, I don't want to be neutral because I want to feel. They identify neutrality with being numb, kind of like the numbness that some antidepressants can create for individuals. It's just like, I don't feel anything. That's not neutrality. What Mary-Sophia taught me about neutrality when I was working with plant medicine is that a neutral space is a gentle pleasure. It's a gentle pleasure. Now you might be saying, Michelle, how can I have any pleasure at all when Roe v. Wade has been overturned? Go watch that Higher Perspectives video where I discuss that, right? And I talk about in my videos is that the soul is in gentle pleasure, no matter what is happening, because the soul has chosen all of these experiences. Even if your ego or your personality might judge the experience as wrong, evil, painful, a setback, whatever those judgments are, your soul is in a gentle pleasure going, I wondered what this would feel like. Right? I wanted to have this experience, because when we are one with our Creator, when we are fully aware of our divinity, when we are living from that light and divinity, these denser experiences are not available to us. I spoke about the book, The Little Soul in the Sun. And so I highly recommend getting that book by Neil Donald Walsh and reading that book and understanding that the experiences that we deem dark, heavy, negative, shadow are all wonderful, good experiences that our soul came here to experience, that the divine, our Creator, has chosen to experience as the personality of us. So when you're in the moment and those emotions get triggered, your first step is to go, whoa, what story am I telling myself? What am I making this mean? Now, is that true? Is it how you want to feel, right? Because all timelines are available. So is it true that some women will experience a setback of decades in women's equality? Will some women experience horrible, illegal, unnecessary, painful, and risky abortions? That timeline is available. Everyone has the free will to choose that timeline. What is also available is that this experience takes us to a higher awakening, a higher level of sovereignty. Now, which perspective, which interpretation brings you the greater peace, brings you into that gentle pleasure? Right? This isn't spiritual bypassing, because I would like you to go in and go, okay, what does this mean? You get to release those emotions. You get to acknowledge, I'm really scared this will happen. I feel powerless. This is triggering the powerlessness in me, which is it's meant to do, right? Because what shows up is what is being brought forward to be healed. And so when you go into that trigger, you go, oh, all right, what's this story I'm making this about? Oh, I'm powerless. All women are powerless. Our power has been taken away, right? And releasing that story. My mentor has recently shared that if it's not love, it's a lie. So if you're in a state of fear, it's a lie. It is absolutely a lie. So releasing this idea that your power can be taken away and that your sovereignty can be taken away. releasing that, and then embracing the truth, doing that tapping session of releasing the idea, I'm powerless, I feel so powerless. People who don't understand women, men, whatever story you have around those men, are taking my power. And this means that my daughter isn't safe. My granddaughters aren't safe. My grandsons aren't safe. All of that, tapping that out, releasing that, let the emotions come and just let it go out of your body, because this particular, and I'm just using the Roe v. Wade as an example because it's fresh, it's right here, it's right now. But this goes for all the experiences, that this was actually meant to trigger that powerlessness program within you. So it's like, boom, it's right in your face. And you're going, oh, okay, this isn't real. What's real is I am innately powerful. I am empowered. My power comes from my creator, and no person can ever take that away. So can you see how this experience takes you, bam, to the next octave, to the next level? Okay, in real time. You don't even have to look back. At this point, when you're looking at this, you can go back, oh, I felt so powerless as a 15-year-old when this happened. And oh yeah, that reminds me, I felt so powerless as a 7-year-old when this happened. And you're just bringing it all out, and you're sobbing it, and you're tapping it through and letting it all go. And then it's like you're empty. It just feels so, you might feel exhausted. My clients often say, oh, I feel exhausted, and at the same time, so light. And so then you begin to do the tapping and say, I embrace the truth, right? When we talked about the truth, I am divine, I am sovereign, my rights come within, I am not at the mercy of the matrix. I'm not at the mercy of a government. I'm not at the mercy of man's laws. I live by divine's laws. Yes, 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 yes. I choose peace and calm. I choose to see these experiences through the eyes of the divine, through the divine's eyes. I choose to interpret this in a way that serves me and everyone around me, right? So you actually reclaim your power. You call back your power, and you're in gratitude. Oh, thank you for this happening. I'm so grateful that this event has occurred, because I didn't realize how powerless I was feeling. This event has showed me the level of powerlessness that I was operating from in my life. And now I just reclaimed a deeper power, a more authentic power. And I receive that, and I declare it. I declare my sovereignty. I declare my power. So you could be working, dealing with your 2-year-old, right? And your 2-year-old is having a tantrum in the middle of Target, and instantly you just want to make it stop. You feel embarrassed and ashamed. What are people thinking of you? They must think you're a terrible mother to have a child, instantly. Your child, this circumstance, you have just relinquished your power to. And when you go, wait, it might be later when you go home after it's all, you're going, oh, wow, what emotion did that elicit? I felt ashamed. I felt embarrassed. I felt like I must be a bad mom. People must be thinking I'm a bad mom. And you're tapping on that, right? Releasing that and letting go and going, but the truth is, my child gets to have his or her emotions wherever they come up. And my child's emotions and behavior are independent of the loving mother that I am, right? So it's using those circumstances, what shows up for you, to show you what shows up for you is what gets to be healed. It's taking you to your next level. And that is how you reclaim your power in the moment and completely transform every relationship, every experience you have. When you make peace, when you go, oh, my 2-year-old was having big emotions, he didn't know what to do with those emotions. And in the moment, I didn't know what to do with his emotions. I made it about me and how I looked and what I felt. And when you tap through that and you release that and you reclaim your power, then you can look at your son and go, oh, you can have a greater compassion. Oh, his emotions were so big. He didn't know what to do with them. He was just exploding with emotion. What he really needed from me was for me to hold my center and be a loving presence for him. And for me to let him know that it was okay to feel his emotions. Later, when he's older, he can begin to go, oh, I'm having these emotions. I want to leave this place, right? When he has more power. But imagine how your relationship with that child or your relationship with anybody, when you're able to, instead of being triggered by a circumstance or a situation, be able to look at it through the eyes of compassion, how much transforms. And when you transform, when you do this work internally, you are vibrating out this ease and peace. You are a radio tower blasting out the station of peace, calm, joy, right? That's one of the things my clients tell me is I bring them back to a state of calm, like, oh, yeah, everything is okay. In fact, not only is everything okay, everything is wonderful. Everything is glorious. Everyone is having the experience their soul requires and desires, and it's all good. It's all good. All right. No, you can check out the application in the description of this video. I am taking applications for a couple of private clients to work with me to creating your extraordinary life, to extricating yourself, being completely sovereign, and creating the extraordinary life you were born to live. Until next time, thank you for joining me. Bye for now.